Footage of the attack on the positions of the Russian armed forces by an assault unit of the Ukrainian army crossings near Bakhmut, widely circulated on social media Telegram on Sunday, 7/16/2023. The footage shows the tense moments between Russia and Ukraine. The two sides were involved in a very brutal shootout. It can be seen in the footage. Ukrainian soldiers fired very nimbly. They jumped and aimed at the enemy with accurate shots. The Ukrainian military said the location of the exchange of fire was in the Bakhmut district, eastern Ukraine. Ukraine itself is trying to liberate the region from Russian troops. The fierce battle took place non-stop for 5 hours, while the battlefield took place in a forest in the Bakhmut area. It seems that a Ukrainian soldier can still document the war. Even so, the video looks to be shaking erratically because it was taken while hiding. It was seen that the Ukrainian soldiers had dispersed in order to be able to fire their weapons at enemy positions. To avoid attacks by Russian troops, they chose to hide behind trees. Nimbly, they moved around to hide while launching attacks. Sounds of explosions were heard in answer to each other, while the battlefield was filled with smoke from gunshots from both sides. As heavy fighting broke out in Bakhmut, Ukrainian troops slipped through the jungle to the front line of the hot field. The fighting near Bakhmut has escalated, and a struggle is being waged to seize the initiative. The Ukrainian military has managed to retake 9 skam over the past week along the eastern front, as a result of improving operational tactical positions and realignment of front lines. Ukrainian troops carried out counterattacks against Russian troops in several key areas that were contested, such as in Bakhmut and several other areas. It can be seen that the Ukrainian troops made some progress, although there were also some setbacks. Fierce exchanges of fire between the two sides were recorded on every front. The Joint Operations Forces of Ukraine, JFO, confirmed the exchange of fire was sparked by Russian troops launching the offensive first. The attack drew international condemnation and new sanctions by Western countries.
NATO-Ukraine Council, he can do so, it cannot be blocked. Because we are meeting as equals, we have decided what...
Gunfire reportedly broke out again when the Russian army increased its attacks at a number of points around Bakhmut. The incident caused mutual claims of victory between the Ukrainian and Russian militaries, adding to the heat of the situation, despite various attempts at peace by various parties. Ukraine's victory over Bakhmut, this time, could not be separated from the assistance of sophisticated war equipment ammunition from the United States, US, and allied countries. Ukraine says its forces north and south of the town of Bakhmut have advanced to trap the Russian troops. This strategy emerged after the Russians claimed to have captured the destroyed city. Heavy fighting in Bakhmut took place in the last 8 months. This is the longest fighting, perhaps also the fiercest and bloodiest battle, in the Ukrainian war, which began with Russia's invasion of the country since February 2022. Russia claims to have completely controlled the town of Bakhmut, Donbas region, eastern Ukraine, in heavy fighting over the last 8 months. Russia's claim of control of the entire town of Bakhmut comes a week after Ukrainian forces said it had won its fastest victory in 6 months on the northern and southern flanks of Bakhmut. Bakhmut, about 55 kilometers north of the capital of the Russian-controlled Donetsk region, had a pre-war population of around 80,000 people. The city was an important industrial center, surrounded by gypsum mines and salt processing. Bakhmut for months was in the heart of heavy fighting. The city's true strategic value is scanty, but symbolic in importance to both Kiev and Moscow. Ukrainian forces have advanced up to 1,400 meters on the battlefield against Russian troops in the town of Bakhmut in recent days, the advance being the latest reported victory by Kiev near Bakhmut. The moves are part of a series of similar successes reported by Kiev around Bakhmut this week, an area the Russians captured in May in the war's longest and bloodiest fighting. Previously, the Russian troops had tried to counterattack. However, the attempt failed because many Russian troops became victims at the hands of Ukraine. Apart from that, the war equipment of the Russian troops in the Bakhmut area was also said to have been destroyed. Until recently, heavy fighting was ongoing and positions changed several times a day. Ukrainian forces have made the most rapid gains around the banks of Bakhmut, aiming to lay siege to the eastern city devastated by months of war. Ukrainian forces are focused on capturing villages southeast towards the Sea of Azov and areas near the eastern city of Bakhmut, which were captured by Russian troops in May following months of fighting. Kiev last month began a much-anticipated resistance to Russian troops entrenched after stockpiling Western weapons and building up its offensive forces. Ukraine recently acknowledged the tough battle and asked the United States and other allies to provide long-range weapons and artillery.